Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for education and technology. In this channel, we investigate the what, why, how of ancient Chinese culture, including Wing Chun. Now, in the past few days, I got many messages from our Wing Chun friends. And many of our friends sent me on the energy of ancient Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao, the energy of ancient Wing Chun, all of those stuff. And I look at that and say, hey, it's time to tell the truth to the world. So, those of us who care for Wing Chun, who love the Wing Chun culture, and do not want to get put down by our friend like Xi Xiaodong, we need to know this. We need to be clear on this. And only we know this, there's a hope. If we keep doing that internal energy of Wing Chun or Xiu Lim Tao, those stuff, there's no hope. Now, let me start with this. In the ancient Chinese history until today, you see that many of Chinese is really bad in their practice. They made up stuff and then they say that this is what the ancient talk about, this is what the ancestor teaching. They made up stuff. Okay? And then now, this type of behavior, when you get to the West, many Westerners start to do the exactly same thing. I'm this grandmaster. I learned this secret stuff, this secret energy. And my friend is this and grandmaster. All sort of stuff. The same bad practice of the ancient Chinese where it screw up ancient Chinese culture. Anybody who watched the video I showed the other day on Mr. Nan Huaijing, you can see that he tells everybody that the ancient Chinese culture now have a fault, like an earthquake fault, a gap. People no longer know what the heck is going on. So, this is very bad for Wing Chun. This is very bad for you and me and everybody. Because when all this story, history, all this creativity, keeping power up the world, nobody knows what is real anymore. And then you get the other side, you get our friend Xi Xiaodong saying that you're all fake, you're all just scam. So the guy who cares is tear apart. On one hand, have to face what our friend Xi Xiaodong presents, which is the reality. On the other hand, you get actually filled by all the nonsense which is created by the Chinese about 100 years ago and the Westerner today. So what happened is this. We all know after General Qi Ji Guang 1560s reformed the traditional Chinese martial art, it has a system, which is the 3-section system, Sanpan, or I translate it in the, or I present it as the 4 momentum zone in the Wing Chun Matrix books and in this video. Now, our friend in Okinawa and in Korea, they received this technology of Qigong, they went back to Korea and they went back to Okinawa, they practice it. Today, if you look at the Okinawan Bubishi, that is the real thing, which is according to general Qigong technology. Okay? And today we can see, like in YouTube, many of the scholars of the Bubishi can show you, oh, how is today's MMA and all this fighting competitions is actually accord with Bubishi. Go to YouTube, you can check it out. Now, start about 120 years ago. Many Chinese is no longer following that teaching of the general Qigong. Guess what they do? They created the sects which they call internal. They just pull out the blue of all kinds of energy and all those stuff. And then they start to claim of their secret sect. Well, all of this thing which they create is only for what? For exercise. And maybe some tricks for push hand, using strength. That's all. But they completely block out what the general Qigong teach. This is what happened with those internal stuff. The internal stuff which is cannot take what Xi Xiaodong challenging. Now, 100 years ago, on another part is the Shaolin lineage, like Wing Chun, like Mo, like the Fujian dog feast. They still follow the general Qigong system. So if you compare that with the Okinawan Bubishi, they are in the same direction and they have the same content. So there is many sets in the system. For example, you look at Mo, there are so many sets because each set is an example of how to fight in a certain momentum zone. So all of this, if you verify with Bubishi of Okinawan karate, they all converge. However, those internal this and that, they never converge. They never talk about general Qigong. They talk about Taoists like Zhang Sanfeng, and then all this grandmaster, blah, blah, blah. But all these people is about 100 years ago and all this kind of thing. Now, when 3 years ago, Xi Xiaodong KO that Tai Chi guy, things start to surface. You look into the Bubishi, the Okinawan Bubishi book, you know that all this internal, all this stuff, don't even have a comprehensive training in their body handling functioning. Today's sports science, in the training of athletes, you need to have a functional training. Yet all this internal, this energy, that, they keep talking about something they don't even know what it is. But they do not have this training, this functional training in today's language. In today's language is, in the functional training, you have to be doing hinging, going up, down to the ground, crawling, all sort of stuff. And that's how the MMA people practice, and that's how what you can see within the WcK of the Okinawa Day. But you look at all this Chinese their internal, did they do that? Did they get the cardio and everything? They don't. They say, well, this slow, soft. When you get yin into extreme, you can get yang. Who the hell know what is that? The Chinese didn't say that. So, let me share with you the body functioning of the Sanpan Dafa, of the general Qi Ji Gong. Okay? Today it still exists. That's why I want to tell everybody. You want to know what is the real deal, what is fantasy. In the 4 momentum zone play, like in the WcKs of Okinawa karate, the first type of body function is the long range function. The long range function, like this. Okay? So your kick, this long range, this is a long range function. That's the first type of body function which is needed. The second type of function is the short function, like you strike with your elbow, your shoulder, your fist, your knee, and you talking. That is the second type of the body function. Physical function, the basic. The third type of the function is the function of you leaning in like this, going down like this, okay? In this area, there is the third one. So in each of this, like the long, it has a different variations. In this, different variations. In this, you have different variations. In this body function range or type. From this, it gets to this. All this. And for the changing, from this, it gets to this. So, a comprehensive Chinese martial art has to fulfill all of this body function training after 1560s. And be able to breathe. So, what internal? If the body cannot be agile to handle all this function, let's not talk about Chinese Kung Fu in martial arts. There is no Chinese martial art Kung Fu there if one not be able to go up and down for that. Not to mention, Wing Chun is proficient in in this kind of uniqueness. And all what I show you from long, the short, this, going to knee, and going down to the ground, all need to be proficient. Proficient means the neuromuscular proficiency. Because you need to move in all this up and down. You need to go down, you need to come up, and all kinds of stuff. You need to go down suddenly. If the body do not have the neuromuscular proficiency, how the world is one perform? You have to stand there, have a magic power. While Xi Xiaodong and our MMA friend all have this proficiency, in the body physical. Tao 1850s have this thing, up and down. Why up and down? Well, don't we say we want to fight in a different range, different angle, and different level? Just fight this long, short, lean, kneel, and going to the ground. The 5 is the handling of range, angle, level. If you don't have this, you expect some kind of chi, and the guy who just standing there, 站桩, I can fight everybody, I touch everybody and they fly. You must be kidding. You're watching too much movie. See, what I say today, many people or even many grandmasters will not like it. But you know what? Let's not insult the intelligence of ancient Chinese. And let's not keeping pumping in BS and say that this is ancient Chinese, ancient this and ancient that. Why one don't have any idea what it is. So, see the Chinese, including Mr. Nan Huaijing. At one time, he showed 2 films. One is the monk practice in China. One is Japan. And he said, you look at this. You look at how the Japanese monk really disciplined. Today, we look at the karate club. How disciplined they are. The people talking nonsense about this flying stuff in karate. I am a Kyokushin member. Still, if I met my friends, and we talk properly technical, we're not talking about all this BS about who can fly, who have internal energy. So it is about discipline, it is about mentality. If we don't straighten this thing up, it is insulting the intelligence of the ancient Chinese ancestor. It is to screw up the future generations of Wing Chuner and the generations of this generations. There's no such thing as secret sets. Anybody tell you about the secret set, the ancient Chinese secret sets? You go to WcK, okay? So the reason why I mentioned WcK is using a reference from outside China. You took the WcK in, you lay on their so-called secret sets. You look at, as I showed you just now, the 5 type of body function training. You look at how many functional training there compared with the WcK. And you can see that. Life is very simple. If you don't have this 5 type of body function training, you don't have the neuromuscular proficiency. You don't have the neuromuscular proficiency to play in every range of this game. When one couldn't even going up and down and change, and one don't even have any clue on this 5 type of function training, and keeping talking about this chi and all things, and you look at their body, just compare all those Grandmaster in Chi with the MMA player or Mike Tyson or Xu Xiaodong, you can see right through who is like a tiger, who is like a goat. And you expect the goat to fight the tiger? So this is to share with you today. It's time to say enough is enough. See, I don't against anyone who have creativity. But I have issue when you screw up the ancient Chinese culture, you screw up the Wing Chun culture. That's why again and again I say, I respect Bruce Lee. He tell you what it is. If he create that, he tell you what it is. He don't say this is the Wing Chun I got from my Sifu secretly, blah 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 blah. He didn't. He tell you this is Jet Kundo. I get it from here. I study Western boxing. I study fencing and all kind of stuff. And I do ISO matrix with a chain. Everything is transparent. That is a model. That is our model for the Wing Chuners. We need to know what the heck is this. So Bruce, it is a model for us. You see how is his character? Honest guy, solid to the ground guy. So this is to share with you. I like to make this video because it is the culture and the Wing Chuners on the sticks. Anybody can study something, and for example, I can say I study this from this Sifu, and I add on to this because I think so. What there is legit. It's like Bruce Lee said, this is Wing Chun, and I add on this, and I call it Jet Kundo. It is completely legit and respectable. The issue is, when one learns something from a Sifu, they don't mention who they learned from, and suddenly they come up saying that, hey, I have restored the ancient thing based on my research or anything. That's called baloney. Do you even know what the heck is going on there? So today, I share with you this, of this 5 level of neuromuscular proficiency you need to get. I'm 60 something already. That is how I was trained when I was young, in the sets. So, if we don't know this truth, it is a kiss of death. Sure, people need to make money teaching martial arts. Well, they can make money, they can do whatever they want. Provided they don't screw up the Chinese culture, they don't screw up Wing Chun, they can do their business. But not dropping nonsense where people later not be able to find out what is what. So again, I tell you, the reason I wrote all these books is because to put it on cast on stone. In the technology world, I'll patent the hell out of it. So it's belong to me. But I don't mind give it up. Why? Because that is the culture of Chinese. That is the inheritance from, or legacy from the ancient Wing Chun ancestor. It is everybody's property. I don't own it. And also, we cannot let people screw that thing up, mess it up. So, I know this is a very strong video, but hey, Xu Xiaodong is real. We like it or not, we have to face it. It's like making a battle. What do we have? What do our soldier have? What is our opponent have? You need to be clear. Instead of living in the fantasy. Oh, you know, I will get the Taoists to come to help us. And when they send a missile to us, we're going to use this fudging. We're going to push the missile out of the galaxy. Just like that.